Hey William, it's Tim from Database here. I just want to go over your question here for viewing related fields, aka like a grandparent value. So I started to build this out, and I see where your question is coming from, and I just want to point out how we can actually kind of modify this thought process or modify this structure to make this way easier. Um, so your question about seeing related data from an activity table where you want to pull in connected values and see client names and things of that nature. So what we actually need to do, which we kind of skipped over in your description of the data tables, I'll start at the top. We have clients, right? We have a client name, client address, client contact, and a status. Next, we have projects. We have project name, and then this field I made a connection field, the project contact. So that's going to actually connect to clients. Okay, and then the activity data table has the description, the date, time spent, which is just a number field right now for an example. Agent name, which is a connection to users, so I can get like logged in user information. Then we have a connection to the project and a connection to the client. Okay, so we're going to use this activity table as what's called a join table. So this is going to have a connection to both tables that we want information from. So we want information from clients and we want information from projects. Therefore, we're going to connect to both. Okay, so I haven't done anything with the pages yet, so we can go through this together on the fly here. Okay, so let's start with just an activity table. Okay, so we'll show activities, we'll add a form to add new, and we'll add a link to see details. Okay, so inside of this table, we have all of the fields from the actual activity table itself. And then we have our details link. I'm just going to make this a button real quick. Okay, and the add activity. So one thing we're going to change here is let's actually start from scratch. The first thing we're going to actually do is let's select the client and then the project. And then we'll do agent name. It's going to come from logged in user. The description, time spent, and I guess we can put the date in there too. So what we're going to do is we're only going to show projects that connect to that particular client. So we're going to make this like a dependent drop down. So you select the client first, then the project. Now, granted, we only have one client and one project in here right now. This would help filter out the relevant data, so you're not seeing clients or projects that don't belong to the selected client. Right, and then we are going to, on submission, we're going to add a record rule, and we're going to say set, let's set the date. And agent name, we're going to say to logged in user. Oops. Okay, so that's going to add an activity record. So let's go ahead and look at that now. Okay, so first we can log in. Oops. Oops, sorry, I did not have a redirect here, so we'll load that again. All right, so I'm logged in to get the agent name, right? I'm the agent. So we will select our client, select our project, what we did, and for here we'll say, I don't know, let's just pretend this is hours, so I spent 1 hour. Okay, so now we have our description, all of the fields for the actual activity record. And now if we go to the details page, you can see here's the activity detail. I'm going to jump back to the page builder and go to activity details. So I can show you that now that we have, sorry, let me go back actually. Because we have a connection to the project and we have a connection to the client, we don't have to be concerned with like grandchild or grandparent records or any of that related to data. We have now created a direct connection to both the project and the client. So we can go back to activity details here. And then if I select a new details component, you can see right? So either projects that are connected to this page's record or clients, and in this case we're going to do both. Right, now we have all of this information. And let's just clean this up, project. Okay, now additionally, sorry, let's just take a look at that now. All right, so our 3 columns, 3 details. Additionally, on the actual activity table, because we have a connection to, again, both projects and clients, we can add connected values from either of those two. So if we wanted to see client name and address for the connected client right on the table, then we can do that. Okay, so just to summarize here, your question was about how to see related data when it's more than a direct connection away. So, right, skipping over a connected table and seeing the related records or related data. In this particular example, we can actually simplify it by just adding another connection field. And that is the case for most situations like this, where if you can't access the data that you're looking for, meaning it's too many levels away, then you may have to go back to your data structure and add in additional connections. The only thing you kind of have to do in conjunction with that is that make sure that wherever the data is being inputted from, you need to make sure that you're passing those connection values along when necessary. Right, so if we had another level, I can't think of like a great example of how to build that out quickly, but if we had another level here where time tracking, for instance, right, where you have activity, but then each activity has different time records, like I spent 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, and they all connect to the same activity, then we're at that point we're 2 levels away from projects and clients, so we may have to just pass in forms and stuff and record rules, you may have to pass those connected values through on the page builder side, or you can try to leverage some table rules in that case too. But anyways, I hope that helps answer your question. I hope I actually interpreted it correctly. I guess let me know if you need anything else. Thanks.